And we're off. Kickoff between these two. And a simple best of 7 already. Just seeing where the tone set quickly off the kickoff. You're starting to see complexity try to get in front. SSG, Arsenal even jumping for that. There was no one around, but again, they know how fast complexity can play as a team. They want to get in front of them.
Right in front, Sypical and Arsenal trying to move back down. And Shad, AJG want to move out for complexity. Shad in front. Oh, AJG actually left by himself here in the corner. He's going to have to defend this. He's able to get up.
Sip.
Another shot might come. Ball just hanging in midair in front of the box. Sypical comes down. Not a lot of boost left. But already, Space Station starting to mount some pressure. AJG slowing it down. He'll get a flick out.
Good control here on the midfield from Space Station Gaming. Not trying to get a lot of room. Here's the push. Sypical, good 50 out in front. But complexity not phased as they recompose, get it all the way downfield. They're looking for a way to strike first. Still no shot on the board for them.
Complexity doing a good job early, not letting Space Station stay for too long in the blue half. Raiseball having to defend this one off the backboard. Space Station willing to just let that ball come back to them. Try to control it. Reddle's able to get that ball back to midfield, but it's Complexity's ball. Raiseball high pass to AJG. Saves right off the crossbar. Shad, shot is good, and Complexity strike first.
There's that offense from Complexity coming out. Raiseball, middle, good touch and connection and traffic for AJG. Defense struggling. You see Arsenal trying to get there in time, but it's going to be Shad to start this series off with the first goal.
And I thought that those quick couple of plays from Space Station were going to start building the pressure gauge for them. But Complexity hit the release valve, and in fact, they're hitting the demo button. Raiseball, no goal for him, saved by Sypical. AJG gets up there quickly. And Sypical a little bit of time to think about this as he moves the ball back out towards midfield. Sypical immediately cut off by Shad.
And look at this. The Reynolds goes up for that, has to let it go. Again, making the right touch, the smart move. One of those crucial factors in this one. They don't want Complexity to get on a roll and increase that score line still. As we have less than 3 minutes left in this game. Potential here for SSG as those midfield 50s, so important.
AJG starting again from his own corner. Little Space Station starting to press. Sypical got a lot of touches on his way to the box. Space Station trying to cut off that counterattack. They succeed, but they're having a hard time fishing that ball out of the corner. Raiseball comes out with it back to AJG, and Reddles, third man, able to stop them. But a very close rotation. Typical demo through one to get the ball back. Shad trying to fight him off. Taking the wing is Reddles, and this is a tight rotation here for Space Station, but they're making it work. Able to carry the ball around. AJG's getting bumped, but somehow comes up with a clear to Shad.
But look, they don't overextend on Space Station Gaming. They take their time and they work with the field. Definitely is a lot of space there in that midfield, but Complexity, little afraid to actually jump in and get in front of that because all Space Station want is that 2v3 situation where they can make the most out of it, get those demos going.
Nice touch from Raiseball back over to AJG. But that's about most that either team has been able to get is 2 solid touches to each other, and it's immediately defended. Both teams talked about the emphasis on defense in this match. Better defense is going to win them the game. That's how both teams feel. And so far, the defense has been looking pretty good in game 1.
Yeah, the defense from Space Station Gaming, they got 5 shots right now out of the 6 Complexity have put on total. But this one, no one's going to be able to save. Shad playing the 50 well will get the second goal for Complexity.
And Space Station have been playing this tight rotation for a little bit. That means those 50s in midfield have to be clean. That one wasn't. And AJG made them, they punished them for it. Complexity, big 2 goals here in the first game.
Yeah. And all they have to do is just step up on the defensive area. They've been able to save every single shot SSG has put on. And we talked about it. We were a little confused whether or not they would have that defense going, but it seems so far so good. They've been able to control the midfield, keep the ball from looking really dangerous. Not a lot of dangerous offense coming out from SSG. Sypical will pick this one up. Pass to Arsenal. Shot in! And Space Station Gaming get one with time on the clock.
Textbook infield pass here from Sypical over to Arsenal. Raiseball, the low man trying to defend that pass, and it's always going to be difficult When you have to defend both the shot and the threat of the pass, couldn't get it, tried to dive it, and Space Station bought themselves a lot of time here in the final minute.
Like you said, final minute, 50 seconds. Does SSG have that offensive power? Here's Arsenal trying, but straight to Raise Bull. Sypical will get a touch up. How much boost in the tank? Tried to get a 50 out, but it'll go to Reddles. SSG aren't done. Arsenal's waiting, looking, trying to get that one in the midfield, but that 50-50 gonna kill that drive.
Complexity holding this ball in the orange half. Raise Bull coming in close in the corner. Sypical able to flick over him. AJG gonna wait in midfield, but Arsenal is there. He wins it. Arsenal all the boost, but taken away by Shad.
He had that double, but this one, clutch time. They gotta hold this to possession in midfield, Jorby.
Oh, Raise Bull able to cut off the first pass.
Demo.
Big demo for Sypical, to shot denied by Shad. Shad just gotta hang on to the ball for game one, and he's got the carry. He's underneath it and almost picks up the goal for Complexity. They take game one, Daz.
Yeah, you can just see it, like that breath of relief from Complexity, able to make sure that ball hits the ground. They get the first game, but not without Space Station being able to fight back a little bit. You ended up seeing how they looked in terms of the last minute. They get the ball in, and then next thing you know, okay, now it's time to build up the offense. How many more goals can we score? The offense, I mean, they almost tripled their shot totals in that last minute than they had all game long. It really did feel like they were finding their offense there.
It heated up, but, well done by Complexity to stop those quick transitions from Space Station. That first infield pass that bit them, Raise Bull, and the next two, he was able to cut them off. So it was a good adjustment from Raise Bull, getting himself right in the thick of those passes and cutting off those passing lanes. I thought AJG also looked really good. He was the owner of both assists in that game. His 50s are looking really solid, and that is how you start on the right wheel if you're Complexity. Game two underway and paused just like that. We'll get everything sorted out here in a second and get right back to the action. But the Space Station, Daz, they're trying to come back here on Forbidden Temple. Is there anything you saw from Space Station that you'd like to see done a little differently, or anything that's like really sticking out to you as a main pain?
I mean, it seems like those infield pass plays have been working out really well. And I think for me, seeing those pass plays start out are going to be something that is definitely one thing to kind of look back for. Even as we look at this one here from Sypical, play right to Arsenal. Even the bump plays have been something that has just been really good for Space Station to be able to break through Complexity's defense. That being said, Complexity have been able to kind of manage it overall. But as we get things ready to go on Forbidden Temple, it's going to be about how SSG come out and adapt, because I think they got a good feel of what Complexity brought out on the game in game one, but they have to make sure that they can keep that consistency.
Yeah, I've noticed that Space Station's rotation is extremely tight. The follow-up man and third man playing so close together, just trying and it's been working for Space Station. They've been able to get a couple of really good looks out of it. But there was also that one goal that AJG gave Shad in midfield, and that's the kind of risk that Space Station take when they play that type of offense. Shad already at the start of Forbidden Temple, trying to get a pass in front. The Space Station cut it off. AJG in front, forces the ball by one, but it's immediately kicked downfield. It's a great touch from Sypical. Ball falls free for Arsenal. And how does Space Station move forward on this? Reddles, he's got Sypical on the wing, but Raise Bull's there again to cut the pass off.
Arsenal tried to get that flick over, but AJG's still there. These solo plays trying to give ground. It's really how these two teams play in the upper third, because they give themselves so much space in the midfield to work with. But when it gets down in front of the goal line, that goal line defense seems to help. Shad with a quick shot, but not too much trouble for Sypical to get the save on.
Not too much worry for Space Station on defense so far. It's another good touch from Sypical as well. In fact, it's a shot from Reynolds, and Space Station strike.
Good on Space Station, able to get the first goal here. You see Sypical pass out, and before anyone notices, Shad, you see him trying to dive to recover at the last second, but Redos has that shot locked in. SSG with the first goal in game two.
Sypical has been clutch for Space Station throughout the fall split so far. Almost picked up a shot there. Wasn't expecting the rebound to come down to him. And an interesting defensive sequence from Complexity, but no sweat. Raisbull, the shot, perfect spot. Complexity tie it up quick.
I mean, they get it right back here too, Jorby. You thought Arsenal had a piece of that ball, and Raisbull played the miss. Good shot on. Defense from SSG wasn't necessarily set, and they end up giving that one up.
And another punch out here into the corner for Spacestation. AJG, unable to let that one drop. Shad pushing it forward for Complexity. Battle here in the corner. Raisbull slowing it down. Kicked away from AJG, but he still got control. Shad now coming up on the wing. Raisbull going to collect midfield boost. AJG wins it big, setting Complexity up, but they wait. Not confident on the approach. Shad would rather play this ball instead. Off the ceiling, Shad denied by Reddles as he kicks the ball back out. AJG, last man, will buy some time. And more. Maybe even a little bit more here in the corner. Shad swinging wide, and AJG can't come up with a touch.
Look at this corner play, though. They're still working through it. Shad almost trying to do everything on his own. AJG with a tough one. Raisbull's there. It's a good thing Reynolds gets up in time for that. And we're starting to see a little bit more pressured offense here from Complexity, sitting at 5 shots in the first half of game 2.
Raisbull pushing that ball back over to the corner. And Spacestation having to clear the ball from the corner a lot on Forbidden Temple. Shad just getting that ball for free in the third. Raisbull, he's going to be next. Well, Spacestation, they all got plenty of boost for this clear, and Arsenal expends a lot of it to move by 1. Move by 2, no shot, it's a little too wide, and will be taken out here by AJG.
Sypical has to be able to get that. Wait a second. Raisbull, free ball. Arsenal says no. Big demo to stop that drive.
Counterattack here for Sypical. Can't get over AJG. Well, he has been a nuisance to get around. His 50 game has been impressive so far in the first 2 games. Raisbull swinging around, but it will be carried out again here by AJG. Muscle through a couple of 50s. And Complexity are dominating the midfield right now. Spacestation, they've been able to get a couple of clears, but nothing that's really forced Complexity beyond that first really minute, Daz. They haven't done anything in the blue half.
SSG send Reynolds upfield to try to disrupt because you're right, they don't have that much space. Sypical putting a shot on and a little dive from Raisbull to get there. Arsenal not done, looking for that follow-up double. Complexity's defense making sure to lock down once they see Spacestation getting on a run. But Spacestation are starting to try out some new tactics just so they can get some room here on the field. Because like you said, Jorby, Complexity's been all over him.
Shad, last man back, plays it back into the corner, and happy to do so as Raisbull got deleted on the play. But Spacestation, they have a little bit of time to look at this. And that'll be another ball for Sypical. Sypical, he's got a demo from Arsenal for some space. Double tap and taken away by Shad. A little wide, and there's AJG to try to push it downfield. But now Spacestation, they flip the script on the pressure, building the gauge. Arsenal flip up off the crossbar, he missed it, and had to fight AJG off for possession. Shad gonna push that ball out, but Spacestation still won't relinquish control. Shad does it all himself. Open? The whole team is beat on the breakaway, and he missed it. Raisbull puts it in. 2 goals to 1.
That's gotta be the most nerve-wracking drive. Look at Shad. He's sitting there. He's so happy they were able to score that. They had the whole defense out. Shad saw the ball roll up the wall and it was looking a little nerve-wracking. But Raisbull says, don't worry, I got it. 35 seconds left. And a goal separates Complexity and SSG.
It's not just AJG's 50 game that's massive. Oh, that save from Raisbull. Sypical doing everything he can to put Spacestation back in the game, but a quick turnaround. A cutoff by Reddles. And it's going to set Sypical up. Look at him weave around Shad. Now he's going to take it himself. AJG, another 50. But it's still Spacestation's ball. Reynolds trying to take advantage of the positioning. Big miss. And Arsenal, that is a weak touch over to the side. They're still going to try to press Daz, but at the end, Complexity just need a few solid touches. Shad puts that one downfield. And Complexity are up 2-0.
You can see the frustration on Spacestation Gaming at the end of that. Arsenal had a free ball. Looked like he was going for a pass to Reddles off the side. Reddles wasn't there. The pass was also off. And it's those last second plays that you start to look back in, especially the way this series is going. Complexity need 2 more wins to go to Sweden. And it's really tough to look at here, Jorby, because you can see some of the drive Space Station Gaming have upfield. They look strong on some of their offensive presses, but when it comes to a couple of touches, they're just a little bit off. As we go to DFH Stadium, big game here for SSG. If there's any chance for them in the series, they have to come back here.
Absolutely. I mean, look, Raise Bowl is at the top of the scoreboard, but make no mistake about it, AJG and Shad are working hard to keep Space Station out. How many 50s did we see Shad and AJG win? I mean, AJG, especially the first half of that game, these guys are playing out of their mind. Also, we're 2 games into a best of 7, and I haven't seen Raise Bowl go for a single flip reset. This dude is locked in. He wants a spot on Sweden. AJG, first touch denied by Sipical. He got up for that read quick. And Raise Bowl able to cut off the counterattack for now, but Space Station are going to press. Arsenal gets over 1. Arsenal puts it in himself! Space Station on the board!
He's massive, Jorby! Reynolds with the pass. Arsenal, he used his camera to see who was upfield. Pass 1, and AJG, that ball's not going through you. Complexity give up that first one, but Arsenal, he does everything for Space Station on that play.
It's taking gritty plays to get to the back of the net. Arsenal having to fight through 2 defenders. Raise Bowl coming straight down, but that ball's popped back up to the side. You know, Stacks pointed it out before the games got started. These 2 match up. They don't score that often against each other. Just re-emphasizing the importance of defense for both teams in this match. So many of their games have ended 2-1, and it's really no different so far. Daz in game number 3. The first 2 games, 1 goal stints. Well, no, Complexity took the first game by... No, they won 2-1. See, I'm already forgetting it. We're in the heat of the moment here in game 3. Reynolds going to kick this one up downfield.
Straight down, straight to Raise Bowl. Reynolds was looking for a demo on that play. Just let go of the ball. Typical. Arsenal is midfield. That one's going to get away from Arsenal, but... maybe something they can work with. Again, keeping that possession. Shad, though, really quick in the midfield to get that 50 set up. And it's that type of speed that you got to watch out for when you're playing against Complexity. They are looking for any sliver of hesitation coming from SSG.
Like the carry from Arsenal. Reynolds pulls wide to get a shot, but it's high. And he doesn't have enough to chase it. He is going to stay around AJG and Shad. The rest of Space Station retreating, trying to grab possession again. Move down, back over to the corner. Another good job by Complexity, stopping that push. Here's Arsenal again. He's got some time to think about it. Reynolds cuts it off. Midfield's holding on. Go ahead, Des.
One thing that is really interesting, too, is you start to look at how much time players have. As Arsenal, a lot here, tries to go for the double. Raise Bowl will clear it, but that midfield time, something that, okay, when you get the space, like you said, it's nothing that's very, and people on First Touch and everybody around the scene says this, there's not usually a lot of space on some of these drives, so when you do have that opportunity, you really have to put it all forward. AJG will with the double! Oh man, vamos AJG!
Oh, he puts this one up from midfield. That's a perfect first touch, and he buried that ball. Monster double from AJG to tie the game up. Wow. Halfway through on the kickoff, Space Station moving downfield. AJG cuts it off again, but Arsenal, he's got Sipical downfield still, sets up Arsenal underneath, and it's bounced up. Reynolds playing it close. Shot on, blocked by AJG, a massive stop.
So close. Reynolds, he'll try again. AJG, it's a matter of speed. Sipical to Arsenal. They got it. Space Station Gaming strike back, a full team play.
They might not get it the first time. They might not get it the second time, the third, the fourth, but they will keep on shooting, and eventually Arsenal puts it in. And someone is going to have to score more than 2 goals now if Complexity want to win. Space Station can hold the lead, but some of these plays are looking juicy.
This game, this series between these 2 teams, the pendulum swings almost instantly at times. You think that there's a moment where, okay, maybe there's some room to breathe, and then boom, it happens. Almost just like that. That's off the post from Sipical, looking to make a 3-1 difference here in this game. Man, they're getting so close here in some of these drives, Jorby.
Reynolds pushes that ball back over to Arsenal. Well, Space Station have tons of space to work with now. But AJG, look, he's just roaming around the third, trying to set up Shad for this. Oh, he almost got the bump, and another counterattack cut off by Razebull. Some of these plays are super dangerous in front of the box. Razebull sets up AJG. Shad also playing it close, and he's going to return back to his corner. Reynolds trying to get over him, but another big clear from Razebull. Stopped by Space Station. And they're starting to stop these counters. They're starting to stop the passes. Reynolds, that's an easy grab for him around the corner. We're locked in the corner again for Space Station. Final minute.
Complexity. Got to make the most out of some of these pushes here. But we did expect Space Station to come out with some different energy in this game, and boy, have they. Now it's about how that defense can hold on. As Complexity still knocking.
Razebull, last man back in the corner. Oh, Shad gets there quickly to push that ball forward. Razebull lets it go for Shad. He missed it just wide, but he leaves it for AJG. No, there's a triple commit, but Reynolds stays on top of it, and a breakaway comes out of nowhere. Reynolds collects the boost and barely gets that ball, but Shad's going to be first to it. Complexity march right back down the pitch. It takes them no fewer than 2 seconds to move down quickly. AJG gets bumped out of the way, but he's up. He's got the pass in front of Shad, denied by Reynolds. Razebull sets that one up again. Shad scoops it up. Complexity, end of regulation, taken away by Arsenal in the corner. AJG next up wants to pass over to Razebull, but he can't do it. Space Station cut it off, and they take game 3.
Big one there. Complexity knew they come out on top of that game, and the series is in their hands. But Space Station Gaming, boy, do they fight back. Beautiful work on some of the assists here, especially the Reynolds setting up Arsenal. Great solo plays from Arsenal coming out. And then when you look back at the 3-man play where everyone gets involved, that is a team performance that really puts SSG as one of those teams to fight in that top category. Just making sure, even though it's super risky, when the game tied, they follow each other up and it works out for them. Now we go into a situation where, okay, game 4, Complexity still trying to put it on match point, but now they have to manage a Space Station Gaming team that is finding out the recipe on how to get past them.
And Complexity threw everything that they had at them. I mean, they counterattacked as fast as they possibly could. They had good boomers downfield. They had good passes, but they just couldn't connect on it, and that's due to Space Station's stellar defense at the end of things. So now, game number 4 is underway. Can Space Station tie this up and take this as far as we all think it might go? Razebull gets up for this. Touch back over to the side wall for Shad. Shad, Razebull, he's going to play Enforcer! He's got him! Shad puts it in the back for Complexity.
And they punish a crucial mistake. You see Reynolds trying to buy the team some time. Sorry, we'll go right through you. Typical. If you don't jump, that's okay. We'll bump you out the way as well. Complexity not afraid to get down and dirty.
Another good kickoff for Space Station. They end up dropping the ball in front. Shad gonna scoop that ball out again. Another look here for AJG. He just wins the touch completely. Reynolds able to scoop that ball out. Razebull on AJG. He's so willing to just cut in and turn up the field, create a play for his team if he thinks he can. Oh, it's slight double commit. That might be a punishing moment for Space Station, but they can't force the ball in front of the box. And Space Station are going to have to continue to press.
And one of those things that, you got to keep your eye on is Reynolds overall. Been trying to be a nuisance for Complexity over the course of this series. On ball plays, he's trying to get in front of that window. What? And it'll fall! Reynolds will secure the goal and a tie for Space Station.
Oh, activate pinball mode here for a second on the post. It goes boink, 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 and Reynolds comes back out of the nest, making sure that one's going in. Oh, close one. 1-1 for Space Station.
You talk about close, but they take a page out of Complexity's book there. They said, we can do a heads-up play, but we'll do it much faster. And gave no time for the defense. And again, Reynolds coming up. Again, that disruption is something that really is going to be tough for Complexity to have to deal with. He's been doing it for so long.
Nice pop here for Shad to take out AJG. Quick read, getting in front of it. But here's another counterattack for Space Station. Reynolds sees daylight, and he missed it off the post. He had a defender in the way, but just couldn't put it on target. Arsenal, next up, tries to get around it. That's a good 50. That's a good bump, but nobody commits. Arsenal has to wait. Shad was right in front of it.
Yeah, Sypical coming in there. Knew he was solo on the play, which is why he tried to go for the shot off. Bob, definitely some time for Spacestation Gaming, but not going to be able to come out with that. Too many people in the net for Complexity. Uh-oh.
Arsenal, he's got the time, and his shot a little too light and a little too wide. Reddles, he's going to try next, but AJG's in the way. Sypical, it's his turn, but AJG's in the way. Arsenal, his turn. A little too high, and Shad gonna push that ball out, but it's Reddles' ball. He's got the net, and he's got the goal. Space Station on the board again.
These little pressing touches, waiting for the wrong defensive move, and that was it from Shad, trying to go for the light touch. Wanted to play the 50, but Reddles has been in that position way too many times. Top right corner placement. Space Station Gaming with the lead. We're under 3 minutes left in regulation.
Well, the kickoff won't really work out for anybody. Well, actually, it's going to work out for Space Station after that touch from AJG. Sypical. He's denied by Raisbull. The Space Station were able to hang on to a 1-goal lead for a while, but Shad trying to make quick work of it.
That's safe, or that 50 from Sypical. Wild. But sometimes you have to do anything, even put yourself in uncomfortable positions. That's uncomfortable, but it's in! Arsenal with the pitch. Great 50. 2-goal lead for SSG.
And Raisbull, after this initial touch, he comes down off the wall, and that ball just skips so hard. AJG's still rotating back. That ball, Raisbull, no chance he was ever getting at that. He thought he could follow it up, but the 50 just went a completely different direction. And he was caught out. Complexity now down by 2. Raisbull on the catch. He's going to move downfield. Raisbull underneath. Able to force the ball off of Arsenal back over to AJG. He's going to move it, but it's just wide of the net and a big clear for Sypical.
Oh, Arsenal tried to leave it, looking for the bump, but not enough. Complexity really going to have to show their stuff on offense if they want to tie this one. Space Station Gaming have been, I'd almost say, kind of dictating the pace a little bit. If this was a tug of war, they definitely have that advantage. But they are still down in the series, and there's still plenty of time in game. It's just, it doesn't seem like Complexity. They try to get these 50s out. Sometimes they end up overcommitting, and then it goes back on their end, and they have to make a lot of desperate saves.
Reddles has the shot, but taken away by Shad. AJG behind him, having to play more defense. Meanwhile, Sypical moves back beyond midfield. At Complexity, Space Station, the old bend, but don't break on defense. Let him come back to the back wall and easily clear it away, but Shad steals this in midfield. Shad tries to put it in himself. It's taken away by Reddles. Raisbull hops the route in front of the box. AJG has to wait. Arsenal wants to keep it away from him. Shad swings it quickly. He's able to stop the ball, but not push it forward. Raisbull will do just that. Shad back over to Raisbull. He lands, forces the 50 up, but AJG's on the other side of the field. This has to be Shad finding in front to Raisbull. It's denied. Sypical gets in front. Reddles moving the ball back downfield for Space Station.
That was incredible from Sypical. He had 10 boosts. When that drive started, he was so low, he ended up missing the back corner, his back right. Still couldn't get that boost, but had enough from the pass to be able to make 2 big stops that probably are going to come up with the game here. Arsenal trying to get the air dribble bump. Shad patient on the goal line.
I get so scared when I see Arsenal in a one-on-one and he's underneath the ball like that. You got to be careful if you're Complexity. They were able to stop him, but as a result, Space Station have wasted all that time off the clock. Reddles couldn't get the block. Oh, it's off the crossbar. It bounces out. Arsenal gets the save. Reddles down back the field. And oh my goodness, IX Space Station have done it. They've tied the game up. We're at 2-2 apiece, Daz. Complexity started out so hot, but Space Station put them on ice.
Now the nerves really building here for both teams. Next to win 2. Books a trip to Sweden. And the mistakes that are being made on both sides of the field really starting to get at some of the players here. Space Station Gaming take this one. Again, stealing a page out of Complexity's book with the demo plays. But not only that, you get to see even more of some of the solo efforts. Again, playing the balls off the backboard, forcing these awkward touches. If you ever see them pass to each other, it's never just a direct pass or a backboard pass. It's a threat of a shot that's just barely off the target because they know it makes the defense uncomfortable. And Complexity still haven't found an answer for it. As we get things ready to go here on Wasteland Night, it's going to be a big game 5.
The Space Station are just so good at giving themselves the most amount of options on any given play. It's what makes them so good. And really, there's a lot of people out there who can make the argument, and some people have made the argument that, you know, at Space Station not run into the eventual tournament winner in every regional, they might not even have to be playing in this tiebreaker, just speaking about their strength of schedule. But you gotta beat the teams that are put in front of you, and they're in this spot now, but they've come back in a pretty dominant way, I'd say, in that game 4. Space Station were in complete control of that game. Ooh, typical. Moving around, they look to continue that dominance as Reynolds swings back around the corner here. Bump in front, and it could have turned into a passing play, but AJG squares up on 150 and gonna slow down Space Station's attack for now.
Good touch up from Reynolds.
Oh my goodness.
Can't afford to make a mistake here. Sipical may have
goodness.
a lane shot. Oh! Good read on AJG to stop that one. Sipical at the whole net, and he still guessed wrong.
Good dunk from Ray's Bull, but AJG just got bumped in net. Shad's on the right side. He takes the backboard. Everyone's on the backboard. Ray's Bull comes down, and he's got no boosts. Able to force the 50 out. That's going to buy some time. In fact, even put it up in front of the box. Space Station are going to wait for it. And that patience pays off again. So many times, Daz, we've seen them just let Complexity drive to the back wall, drive to the corner, and then they just clear it right back down to midfield. There hasn't been any midfield threat from Complexity. Here's a nice little push from AJG, but Shad is playing a little back. He's got to wait. And he does have to wait for Sipical to come back down onto this ball. Now it's up to the 50.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
With that pass to Arsenal, by time for Sip. High ball. Sip does get back, but can't make contact. Arsenal can't get the 50. AJG will pick up the first goal for Complexity.
Massive flick from Ray's Bull in front of the net. He times it perfectly. Shad tries to go for the bump. It's basically irrelevant. I say basically, but Space Station, he knew that he was going for that bump. He had to avoid him and get the path onto the ball. It was too high anyway. It didn't matter. It came straight back down.
It stems from Reynolds. Reynolds makes an aggressive challenge. Doesn't work out. He's trying to make up for it now, trying to get some bumps here on the play. But that aggressive challenge put Arsenal in a 2v3 situation. Sipical was trying to get back. It was a big rush of confusion, and Complexity took advantage of it all the way.
Now they're having to stop another Space Station attack. Arsenal pushing that ball back over the corner. Ooh. The 50 game hasn't gone completely in Complexity's favor since the first 2 games, but they win a pair here to move downfield. AJG just kicks that in front. That actually gifted with the ball. Shad's got the net, and he missed it. That's as open as SSG's net has been all game, and a big chance for insurance goes by the wayside.
Yeah, and it's been really tough for Space Station Gaming. Their backboard defense has not necessarily looked good this series. A lot of missed clears, either when they're in transition and the ball sent high, or sometimes even when they're set, they just can't get that right touch. And Complexity know that. Sipical, though, he got it! Sipical! Solo status!
Just follow the ball the whole way through. Play the miss, and he's gifted with the ball. AJG misses by a hair, and Space Station can tie it up just like that. The defense starting to break down for Complexity. AJG, ooh, he almost hopped the kickoff there. Shad has to pull back, and Reynolds got the catch. 61 boost in the tank. Around the corner, swings around, and that's a hard hit up, but it's cleared downfield.
Oh, look at that. You can see the confidence, too, as well. Sipical starting to find form. And SSG, now they're winning a lot of these challenges in the upper half. They're looking to make the most of this drive. They're not done.
AJG gets bumped out of the way. Space Station, you see them all close in, trying to force this ball towards the box. They even got the corner boost steal. Sipical up. He's got the pass to Arsenal, or Reynolds, excuse me, and Reynolds shot too weak. Taken away by AJG, but it's still not over. Arsenal gets the 50, and that might end the push for now, but Sipical getting the ball in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that drive really sparked a lot there. You saw Typical, again, getting involved, had some really good touches towards Reynolds for the pass. This is off of a great double from him to even get SSG on the board. We're hitting that 1 minute mark here really soon. Both teams giving a lot of respect here in the middle. We've seen great solo plays, and it's really about who can tighten up on defense, because once that defense lets go, it's always a punishment happening. These two teams have studied each other very well going into this matchup. They know exactly what works and what doesn't play out. Arsenal misses, but Typical has it.
Close pass, but a tough angle. Now Typical, low boost, flips it over one. Trying to find a pass in front of the box. He's got him! Goal! Reynolds puts it in! Space Station late lead.
You said it. Look at it. Typical was solo. Picked up 2 passes to get some boost just to get to the right spot. Sets it up for Reynolds. Reynolds there to knock it down. SSG has turned this game around, and they look to put the series on match point. It's up to Complexity. They've been scoring mainly just 1 goal in these past few games. They got to get more going offensively.
Space Station have ripped 2 straight game victories. This might be their 3rd. Raisbull trying to stop that with Shad. It's in front of the box, and Reynolds plays it back out. HAG, slow ball. Just trying to keep Space Station off of it, but they can't. Every time a blue car touches it, an orange car is there swarming them. Typical note. He didn't have to touch that ball. He let it go for Reynolds. And that ball again. Space Station locking them in. Chewing all that time off the clock. Arsenal pushes the next ball forward. Typical on top of Raisbull. Shad pops it up. He's got to keep it himself. There's no one around. And that is it. Space Station are 1 game away from Sweden.
1 more game. This is where that pressure really starts to hit. You see Complexity, which have been, I'd say, performing, as we do get a confirmation for a tactical timeout on Complexity. This is good for them. They have to set things down, slow things down. SSG have too much momentum going into things right now. Complexity, even though they've been able to get a goal on the board every game, some of that just hasn't been enough. Once Space Station starts scoring, Jorby, it becomes one of those things where Complexity go from setting the tone to managing and playing around Space Station gaming versus where they need to dominate the field. We haven't seen too many demo plays come out from them either. It's been very, very tough overall for them to kind of manage SSG once they start connecting with the pass plays, hitting the solo shots, just getting heated up in a game.
When things break down in front of the box and it's chaotic in front of the box, that's where things, for my mark, really broke down for Complexity. That last goal from Typical, especially, Raisbull wasn't expecting Typical to stop or keep playing the ball when he was rotating out on that play. He picked up a couple small pads and then he got a perfect pop out. And Raisbull had cut outwards because he thought Typical was going to, either gently carry that ball out or push it back to his team, and instead he was the ball was seen flying over his head and then into the back of his net. Just little things. It's those little things, Daz. And since those first 2 games, Complexity were dominating in 50-50s, but HAG, he hasn't been able to replicate that same success. Without that same midfield presence, Complexity are flat on offense, and they don't have a response for Space Station's ability to adapt to their play style. They've completely locked down midfield. Complexity don't have an answer for it. They're left boostless. They're left on the ground, and their wheels can't get to the air. It's been a struggle for Complexity on defense.
So what do you do when the road to Sweden is 1 game away if you're Space Station Gaming? What do you do if that door is closing? If your team Complexity backs against the wall? 1 more game. We'll see which one of these teams can honestly make that trip as SSG look to close things out. They already start off with a lot of offensive pressure in this game 6.
Can Complexity, a team that even they themselves didn't give them any shot past top 12, can they surpass even their own expectations and move the bar up a little bit higher for a plane ticket to Sweden? They're going to need to win 2 more games to get that. HAG forces that ball back over the corner. Arsenal slipping underneath Shad. Space Station going to push again. Reynolds kicks this one high. Forces Raisbull to make a play on that ball. And he will this time. Collect that midfield boost as well. putting Arsenal on ice.
Team Complexity have to leave it all out there on this game. No less than their absolute best. Spacestation Gaming are going to come at them with everything that they've got. As the first minute goes by, Complexity have gotten a couple of shots on the board. And Spacestation have been waiting, just kind of testing this midfield of Complexity. But right now, pass middle. Good save from Reynolds.
That's a dangerous pass. AJG was your last man. Shad was still rotating back. Maybe he can get to that ball, but there's no guarantee on how that 50 is going to turn out. That shot almost turned out for Complexity, and Reynolds gets over Razebull. He's got one to beat in Shad, and it's taken away, but it's still Space Station's ball. Arsenal pops it over one. He's over Razebull as well. Lets the ball drop for Reynolds. Reynolds misses it, and Razebull is given an opportunity. Shad swinging out ahead. Oh, the go-ahead goal to Complexity, 1-0.
Boom! Just like that, they explode! Razebull using all the boost, pass at the last second, and Shad, they barely beat SSG in transition, but a goal is a goal. Complexity up in Game 6.
That's exactly what they need. Find a way to punish Space Station on the counterattack if they can find them. Winning a pair of 50s might just do that for them. Typical big demo, but a light shot, and Shad happily clears the ball away for Complexity. Here's Reynolds again in front. Oh, just kicks right back to his car. He's still got the ball. Razebull punches him out of the way. And Daz, it has been a gritty game. Like, a lot of these goals, we've seen a couple of double taps, but that is about as mechanical as it's gotten. Like, it's down to the fundamentals for both of these squads. Get the touch, be in the right spot, punish the mistakes. That's what it's gonna take to get to Sweden. There's no frills in this match.
Yeah, and when you have to play again with all the nerves upfield, sometimes it leads to mistakes, but Arsenal there to make sure no mistake happens on the defense. Complexity still swarming. They're trying to build on that 1-goal lead. They've seen the offensive Space Station throughout this series. They know that this lead is fragile. As a pass to Shad. Shad with the shot, and he'll find it! Complexity up by 2!
AJG muscles by Arsenal on the 50. Gets a dime out in front to Shad, who puts it right on target. Too much power for Space Station to save. And Neo Tokyo belongs to Complexity in the first 3 minutes.
I mean, a lot of people predicted this series to go 7. Most people didn't see it.
I think it might.
Shad seeing the double, but there will be 2 there. You're absolutely right. Complexity have tried to turn things around, but they got to make sure they keep up that consistency, because SSG, I mean, they know that it's not over until that ball hits 0. Typical with the shot. Razebull just barely making a save on the goal line.
Reynolds popping that one up. Shad, no boost, looking for a hard clear. He's gifted with a miss by Space Station, and now they march downfield. A third goal would surely put Game 6 under wraps. Razebull, you saw him inching up real close to that ball. He's able to force the 50 out in midfield. Typical will punch it over him, but this is still Complexity. AJG's got the shot, and Reynolds can pick up the save.
Minute 20. Time not in favor of Space Station Gaming. Complexity are going to try to play this 50 game out and run out the clock as much as possible. It's going to be up to SSG to see if they can break past them. But Game 7 looking a lot more likely as the clock ticks. A demo there, but Razebull, a lot of space to clear. AJG almost found that in transition.
There is a lot more space for Complexity. The Space Station, here's a push for them. They don't need a lot of time to score 2 goals. And if they get something on this push, they could certainly buy themselves enough to tie the game up. Typical. Getting underneath this ball. And no pinch or nothing really, as Arsenal just trying to lock it in the corner. He's going to make it awkward for Shad. Reynolds just going to drive into the ball, and Typical's got another look. Classic Space Station rotation on offense. But can they collect a goal out of it? Arsenal again in the corner. Taken away by Shad. He's got no boost. Just staying behind the ball, force the 50. Space Station again. Typical popping it over, but Razebull's got the defense. Typical again in the corner, but Razebull's got the defense. He's got no boost, has to let it drop. Plenty of time now wasted on the clock. Complexity keeping that ball close to the bumper, keeping it out of the net. Good touch from AJG, and that will do it. Daz, this could end no other way. We go to Champions Field.
Game 7 bound. Emotions high on both sides. As we all knew we were going to get here at some point. But man, Complexity though, with this win, this is big for them. Space Station Gaming, the last few games, putting on at least 2 goals a game. To get shut out here, Complexity seemed to have had their number in Game 6. But with this Game 7 happening now, with a chance for both these teams to put their name with the best of North America, they gotta show what they have here.
Many a game, many a memory have been played on this field. The banners that hang in this field only represent part of so many historical matches played on this pitch. And this one is going to deliver another fine one. One more match, one more 5-minute game to decide who goes to Sweden. And Complexity, they want to go. Raise Bull puts in the first goal.
First goal to Complexity. A miss from Sipical, great fake from Raise Bull, and AJG chasing Reynolds down. Tried his best to get to that one, but the shot too fast, and Complexity has set the tone.
That's 3 unanswered goals for Complexity in the last 2 games now. Sipical gets that one set. AJG picks up the save. Sipical down in front again, broken up. And Complexity gonna move down the pitch off that. Raise Bull chasing this ball down the pitch. Raise Bull flicks it up himself, sets it up. AJG in the air, but it's denied by Sipical. Shad closing down in the corner, forces the ball out. Raise Bull waits, and it's taken back over to the side wall, but this is Complexity's ball. AJG passing front to Shad, broken up again. This time it was Arsenal breaking it up. Reynolds winning a massive 50 for Space Station in midfield.
How do you make success happen after a streak of nothingness? From being shut out, this 3-goal run, SSG trying desperately to get back in, and Sipical taking his time. Low, almost from Sipical. Bit of confusion on the defense, and Arsenal's gonna get up, but Raise Bull able to recover.
Back around the corner, AJG sets that one up. Sipical, he missed the ball! Raise Bull breaks through the wall, 2-0!
That is an uncharacteristic whiff from Sipical. Thinks he has the read. Ball goes right over him, and Raise Bull there. This one has Complexity in the driver's seat. Is the pressure getting to Space Station?
Sipical doesn't miss those. He just doesn't. Game 7, and Complexity squarely in control. AJG demoed. But Sipical was already up for the ball. They need a little bit of magic on, well, the next couple of pushes. And they have to stop Complexity. They have not been able to. This ball has just slipped in every single time. AJG back into the corner. And Space Station, they're not going to give him time to look at it. Reynolds trying to force the issue in front of the box. Sipical, he crashes the corner next. And Shad, he's happy to clear that ball the whole way back to Space Station territory.
Reynolds taking the time, dishing out to Arsenal, but that possession still given away. And you can bet everyone watching Space Station's movements, trying to figure out, okay, can they recover from disaster? Arsenal, he wants to play that 50 out. Sipical in the midfield, but waiting for the right moment to challenge as he respects Raise Bull with that ball. And another clear as Complexity, you're going to try to run that clock down.
The carry up from Sipical. It's a good look, but the catch, Reynolds couldn't catch the ball properly, and now AJG gets a shot denied. Arsenal gets in the way. Raise Bull sets it up in front of the box. Raise Bull puts it in. No, it's off the post. It bounced out. I thought he had it, but it's taken away by Arsenal. And now can they get a counterattack? Space Station, no, AJG stops it quickly. Raise Bull gets a clean look at the ball, and Space Station are left with asking, how do they get it? How do they get the offense? It's taken away again by AJG. No matter what they do to try to transition, Complexity are in the way.
Every single time they try to move downfield, someone from Complexity is there. And the Space Station Gaming team, who were up in the series going into Game 6, have come up empty in the last 2 so far. The door to Sweden is closing, and they need to force it open.
Reynolds pops this one over. He got a demo to boot, but gonna need a lot more than that. The rest of Space Station were waiting in midfield. Now Arsenal forces the 50 back in midfield. Sipical keeping this one close to the bumper. Back against the corner. Reddles catch up underneath, but Shad's all over him. Raise Bull there again. Every single time a blue car touches this ball, it gets Complexity a little bit closer to Sweden. Shad, no chance for him. Raise Bull puts this ball up high, and it's knocked away again. Reddles able to grab that ball on the backboard. He got it to Sipical, but Sipical got bumped on the play, and it's taken away by Shad again. Arsenal gonna move the ball quickly. Can this be the jolt that Space Station need? They gotta find a way to force this ball in front of the box, but they've only been able to play into the corners, and even right here, the touch denied by Shad with a full tank of boost. A look for Reddles, but he can't put that one on target. AJG swings around. Raisebo collects the corner boost again. Pass, and it's to nobody. Space Station have absolutely nothing on offense.
Typical has no boost here, has 7. Reynolds will pick up the ball. Raisebo pre-jumped, but it wasn't enough. Trying to get a bump on Shad. Light touch. Maybe this is it. Typical waiting for the pass. Someone's in front. It's Raisebo. Every single time they think they have a drive, it's somebody in front. And Shad! Oh, might just do it! Complexity up by 3!
Shad comes up big time, beats Reynolds by a hair, and puts Complexity in distance, in danger of eliminating Space Station from major contention. 30 seconds left. It's miracle territory for Space Station. Reynolds misses the ball. Arsenal, he misses, no boost. Oh, the time ticking away. The shot off the post. It's off the backboard, and AJG gets the clear out. That's more time chewed off the clock at the end of regulation. And it is the end of regulation. Well, Daz, vamos to Sweden. Complexity advance.
Vamos is absolutely right. They're able to pull off something no one thought they could do. Unbelievable. Look at the emotion on the screen. They said vamos from South America to North America, and now they're saying vamos to Sweden. Congratulations, Complexity. You've won your trip.
What a performance from Complexity. I mean, that was impressive stuff. We talk about the best teams in North America, and Space Station are always in that conversation. This fall split has been grueling for Complexity. These top teams had stopped them at every single point that they wanted to advance, that they wanted to get to a grand final, that they wanted to prove that they could be a top team in North America. And we're sitting here talking internationally about, the top teams in North America, can they take the top in Europe? But 2 Argentinians and a Chilean have something to say about that. Complexity came up big time in this best of 7. They stopped a comeback from Space Station, and they won this best of 7 in one of the most convincing ways that you could against a top team in North America.